Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Build Your Copywriting Business podcast. Hello, friends.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
hello.
Hello. As always, I am joined by my glowing and glorious co-host, Kate Sitars. Hello, Kate.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And Kate and I have the pleasure of being joined by a star CCA student and copywriter and all-around fabulous person, Ceci Alvarez. Hello, Ceci.
Hi, everybody. I'm very excited to be here.
We are very excited,
excited,
to
yeah.
have you. Yes, very excited to dig into your story and learn everything that you have to share with us and with the community as a whole. So probably the best place to start is at the beginning. What is your background? And then how did you get into copywriting? What's your story?
Of course. Yeah, I'm happy to share. I come from Venezuela. I was in Venezuela until 2019. And in there, I studied ancient Greek and Latin, like kind of classic languages.
Interesting.
And modern languages. I've always been very in love with literature and reading in the original languages. So I studied that, and then I got my philosophy degree. And in 2019, I was planning on, moving to France and do a master's degree on ancient Greek in there. But in the meantime, I came to Colorado to visit my family I have here, and COVID happened. And when COVID happened, everything got so uncertain. I couldn't go back to my country. I couldn't leave to France. So basically all the plans I had to put them on like standby or something. And I just ended up staying in Colorado. So when I was here in Colorado, I was trying to find a way to rebuild my life. So it's like, okay, I'm here, I'm stuck here, I'm gonna make it the best. And like, lucky for me, stuck in the most beautiful state of the country. I really love Colorado. So I was kind of like trying to find a way where I could like do something professionally because all my plans were like suspended. So I started doing Montessori teaching and I became a Montessori teacher. I was very happy with it because it has a lot of philosophy and it's like a very beautiful method to raise humans, in the early stages of life. So I was very happy with it until I started burning out. And it's my respect to all the teachers out there, but it's such a hard work. And at some point, after 5 years, I would say, I started burning out and started thinking again on going back into writing because I've always loved writing as well, but I've only done creative writing. So I've been doing a lot of creative writing my whole life. And when I was driving to school one day in the morning, I found the free training, the free video training, and I started listening to you, Nikki. And I just got like engaged with it, and not just the training on how you were explaining copywriting, but how you were explaining the opportunity that copywriting can give you to build your own life. So I was driving to work in my 9 to 5 horrible schedule, listening to these words. And that's when I basically I finished the video training and I started doing the research on CCA and enrolled right away. And that's been like a very difficult transition since I arrived far from my family, not knowing how the system in here worked, anything like that, to today see myself having my own LLC that I built with my copywriting business and all of that. It feels like a dream, like something I never expected, something I never planned, and it came to be like the best decision I've ever made.
Oh, that's so wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it. What was it about copywriting that kind of called to you or intrigued you?
Yeah, I think what made me make the decision right away was the fact that making a life out of writing was actually something that could happen. So I never thought about that because I've always been doing creative writing and I've always seen it like a side thing, like a hobby, like something I love to do for the love of art, but always growing up with the idea that you are never going to make it as a writer. So when I heard the video training and I heard you saying how possible it was, in my mind, I was like, I want to learn how to craft a message exactly like that one and make people feel exactly how I'm feeling. So that's when something in me connected, and I started diving into copywriting, which I found out is very different from creative writing. So I started now learning from scratch.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's so funny how many people tell us the same thing. And I would agree, even though I knew what copywriting was from a young age. When you love writing, when you hear so many people say, well, no, oh, you're not going to make any money. Oh, you're going to write, maybe you can write a book, but you'll never make any money. And then when we discover that there is a way to do it, it almost feels magical because it's a dream come true. We just didn't think was possible.
Yeah. Exactly. When I had my first payment, and I sent my first invoice, and then I had my first payment. I was so excited and went to my husband, telling him, like, I for real made money out of writing. It's like a dream because I never thought that was possible.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how you got to that first client. Like, what was you jumped in, you started learning. Was there, and how did you go about it? Because I know certain people, go about it different ways of building their portfolio or pitching right away, or however. Tell us.
Once I saw the free video training, I went into some research. I talked to my husband, who's been very supportive, and I enrolled right away. So I started the training. I love studying, so I basically have my system. I'm going like by modules and going back to them. But even like while I was going through it, I was thinking even the 15 minutes that they recommend in the training, it would do it. Like even if it is just the 15 minutes, one module every day or one video every day, it is a lot. And we don't realize. Sometimes I was just going through it a lot and like giving it 4 or 5 hours. I stopped working and took that time off that I was lucky I was able to do that, to fully immerse myself. And then when I got all the techniques and all those foundations kind of settled, I started working on my portfolio. And then I started doing the pitching, but I don't do anything that it's outside of the training. If I'm being advised to go this route, that's the route I'm gonna take. Because also I don't know anything about the systems. Like I learned about pitching ideas and stuff through the training. I had no idea about pitching absolutely anything. And then my husband, who's American too, then he's been like kind of also guiding me on how the system kind of works. But I'm stick to the program, and okay, Nikki and Kate are saying to do this, and those are the steps I'm taking. And that's how little by little I've been following each part of the training, and I've been putting all that knowledge that I'm gaining into action through the steps that you guys give us.
Oh, good for you.
Small
Just
steps.
digging in and getting it done. That's terrific. That's terrific. And so what kinds of clients have you gotten to work with?
Yeah, right now I'm working with a agency in LA that they come to me for freelance projects. And what is awesome about it is that because I learned all the copywriting, but English is my second language. So I'm kind of thinking, how can I make this work for me in Spanish where I feel more confident? So like, for example, LA and so many other states in the country, they have like very big Hispanic communities, and they already have that like work done when they need a lot of translators and copywriters that are bilinguals and things like that. So I'm focusing basically on like transcreation, which I take the messaging in one language, and then I would like go to the brief and adapt that brief to include the Hispanic community and all the nuances and things like that, and then transcreate the messaging into Spanish. And it's been so fun. So basically I've been working with some clients in LA and some in Phoenix too. So I've been seeing that where there is like a bigger Hispanic population, it's where I can get more copy clients.
Oh, that's so great. That's so great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how back in the day when I used to work for, and I probably should not say what the big company is, but I used to work for the big company and they would have us write it in English and they wouldn't
Mhm.
send it to, they would just send it to translators. They wouldn't send it
Mhm.
to bilingual copywriters. They would just send
Mhm.
it to, and invariably, it was like at least once a month, they would say, yeah, the translator sent this out, but it doesn't actually connect at all to the
Yeah,
message we were trying to get across. So bridging that gap of uh, yes, obviously translating the original messaging, but also
Mhm.
making it make sense both in the language and for the audience is such a crucial role. And I would imagine it's so much
Exactly.
fun too.
Exactly. And when I am out there, that now I'm seeing every piece of copy, and I am now it's like seeing that with different eyes. And when I see translated copy, I can kind of see right away, okay, this like the Hispanic community, I can see if the community is included within the brief, then you can craft. But when you're taking a message that's been crafted for certain audience and then you kind of translate that, not looking into the roots of it, then it doesn't work. And it's so meaningful because I've been like learning how crafting a great message means including more my community into the day-to-day in the States. So it's like so far I'm just having so much fun and just also thinking what I can do with copywriting that goes beyond the income.
Yes.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
like meaningful as well.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
do you have any
wonderful.
ideas there? Tell us
Yeah.
more. What you've been,
Mhm.
if you feel comfortable sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, when I was working on my spec pieces for my
Mhm.
portfolio, so my cousins, they had here like it's like a Latino store. It's not like a big supermarket, but
Mhm.
they bring a lot of Latinos from different countries products and they sell it to the communities in here.
Mhm.
So when I was creating my spec piece, I was basically working on creating them both at the same time, like the English piece first, and then the Spanish piece, and like going with my cousins through it. Although it was a spec pieces, it was like, okay, we can still use this, and you
Yeah.
can use it. It was like a banner ad. And then within all the banner ads, how to craft the message for the banners, I was doing the English, like thinking on, for example, okay, what can make Americans, how can I engage an American audience with the Latin American products? So it became more something thinking on, like, for example, in Colorado, how people love the Latin American community and how they love to try different type of dishes. So then it was like, okay, feeling like a Latino barbecue at home or kind of things like that. But then when going to the Hispanic audience, I'm not going to connect with the Hispanic audience through the product itself. So it was more through the nostalgia of being home or what your grandmother made when you were a child. So it's just such different, it's the same product and two different realities. And so the message needs to convey each audience from their context. So it was a very fun project to make. And now I'm just trying to pitch that idea, but it's really hard to convince a brand that is not already interested, like not yet in Spanish, then convince them to craft messages in Spanish is hard. So I'm starting with brands that already have that work done, but I'm hoping in the future that I can just also like build like a philosophy for brands where you can interconnect cultures through the messaging.
Oh, I love that. That's a whole other audience that they're missing out on. So I
Yeah.
love that you're thinking this way. That's so smart. And I thank you for sharing that example because I think it's helpful for people to see, oh, yeah, two totally different approaches to two different audiences.
Exactly.
It's awesome.
Well, I think too, when we're really thoughtful about the audiences that we're writing to, we are in a way, we're caring for those audiences, It's just that a brand and a copywriter but takes the time to really think about, all right, what do they need to hear out of the whole mass of people? What does this audience need to hear and what will they appreciate? And especially, and really both audiences, I think probably for that example, the audience to the Hispanic readers, there's probably even like a deeper heart to it than there is for but maybe I'm making an assumption there that the non-Hispanic audience can't have that same connection. I think the word that just keeps coming to me is this idea of really caring for your audience and making sure that they feel that they understand that this is truly a message for them. It's not just a message that happens to be in Spanish. It's a message that is truly for them. And that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it carries more weight, I would say, because when you see a message that's been just translated, you can see how, okay, they want me to get the message because they want something out of me. When you see a very well-crafted messaging in Spanish in a place that is not, in a country that is not mainly Spanish speaking, then it's like, wow, they really care. And they really want to talk to me in Spanish in a genuine way. And they take the effort to go through all of this, to craft this message that really connects with me. So yeah, I also kind of put myself into the customer's shoes when I'm crafting, because as a Latina, as an Hispana, to me, it's like when I see and hear very beautifully crafted Spanish messages, I feel super included. And I think that's so important.
That was the other word that was coming to mind, was inclusive.
Yeah.
What a different vibe of feeling like, kind of, okay, you trip, but like also to your point, you're just trying to you want me to take an action, but you're not actually doing it in a way that feels good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not feeling that you really want me to take that action. So why should I? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you have been, but I think the more that you put it that way to the clients that you're pitching this to, eventually,
the smart
take
ones,
some businesses a little while, but eventually they're going to go, oh yes, this is how we should be messaging our audiences.
Yeah, and then copywriting is so powerful as a tool, because if I use it to connect with people, then I can use it to connect with people in many ways, not just to sell something that they need, but also in so many ways, I can use my words very strategically to really connect with people and to really leave a mark somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for teaching me all of this. You have no
my
idea.
goodness.
It's, to me, 2025 has been CCA, and my husband with me, next to me, telling me, you can do this. And then me with a lot of fears, feeling, no, but I'm an immigrant and I'm not going to have all the rights. And, I'm adapting to a new life. I didn't grow up here. My career, I didn't make it here. So all these fears that I needed to adapt. And the CCA has been the bridge for me to not just adapt to that, but to really find meaning. And I'm something that is very empowering. I can do this on my own. And if I go out there and I speak up, I'm going to get clients to trust me, and it's already working out. So you don't imagine how helpful you've been.
Oh my goodness, we're so glad to hear that. You have done all the hard work, but we're so glad to be a part of that. So you leaned into the training. Were there any other, I don't know, mindset shifts or anything?
Especially you're talking about fear. What were some of the mindset things that you did to kind of work through that?
How did you overcome some of that fear when you're sitting down to your computer and maybe you're feeling nervous or you're feeling some doubt? What did you do to keep taking action? Hey there, it's Nikki. I wanted to take a very quick minute to make sure that you knew about our free on-demand copywriting training. Now, whether you are brand new to copywriting or you've been doing it for a while, but you just can't seem to hit those income goals, this training is for you. You are going to learn the 3 secrets to landing freelance copywriting work without relying on frustrating job bidding sites like Upwork or Fiverr, or without cold calling strangers. And if you've watched any of the student success stories on this channel, and if you haven't yet, check them out. This is the exact same training that they all started with. And I mean students like Kate K, who is making 6 figures working part-time and retired her husband to help her build her business. Students like Stuart, who replaced his full-time salary, which was a good one, with his freelance income and then some. Stacy, who hit 6 figures in her first 6 months as a freelance copywriter, and Ashley, who landed the in-house copywriting job of her dreams. They all started with this free training, and you can start with this free training too. So sign up right now at freecopywritingtraining.com.
Yeah, I think, CCA is helpful in so many ways, right? So I think it's one of the videos I've seen the most. It's the imposter syndrome one, which we all suffer from it sometimes, and it happens to me in Spanish, and in English it's kind of twice because I'm never sure if I'm saying things correctly. So there is this video on the CCA. I don't know if it's a podcast, I'm not really sure, but it's within the CCA where you say that motivation is gonna end. And to me, that really stuck in me because the more I listened to it, I could feel motivation slowing down. I could feel like stuck in. So it's like that little voice of intuition you explained there. That's the one you need to listen to. So every time I get into all these doubts, I just try to get back into that little voice because when it's a lot of noise, the imposter syndrome makes a lot of noise. So when I hear this like loud noise in my head, I kind of say, stop. You know, this is not the voice you need to be following. So I just keep going. I think I tell myself, keep going. And my husband tells me, keep going as well. So I just try to listen to the noise, but not get stuck in there. Just
Yes.
keep going regardless.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. To acknowledge it, to go, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I hear it, but I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, nonetheless.
Yes, it's kind of like I can hear that you're telling me I don't handle English very well, so I shouldn't be allowed of writing in English and whatever, but I don't care that you say that. I'll keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like an internal battle we all go through, I guess.
It is. It is. And I think sometimes that we're the only person going through it. We'll see this sometimes, like in the group, sometimes people will say, well, you know, I'm feeling this. And I think everyone, because we're sitting by ourselves at our computer, we think we're the only people feeling, ooh, I'm not going to be good enough at this, or ooh, who am I to do this? But everybody feels it at some point or another, which is part of why it's so important. And we're so grateful that you are coming on the podcast today to talk about them, to say, look, I felt it. I still feel it every once in a while, but I still take the action. I still get through it.
Yeah, exactly. And having the Facebook group, now that you mentioned it, it's so helpful because there's everybody, like I've been posting, like when I felt very strong imposter syndromes or when I feel victorious, like everything I feel, I post it there because the community is so supportive with each other and the mentors are so great that there's always someone who's going to tell you, hey, I'm going through the same, or I went through the same, Ceci, that keep going. And it's that vibe of like a team that I don't know in person, but it feels like so close to me anyways.
Yeah.
So,
People that get what you're going through, for sure. I think sometimes even just putting it, whether it's typing it out into the Facebook group or saying it out loud, as soon as you give voice to it, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I see that now and I acknowledge it, and it's kind of silly, like it's there, but it's okay. Now I can kind of move on.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now, are you still in Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so are most of your clients are California and Arizona?
Yeah, exactly. Because in Colorado, we do still have like a very big community too, Hispanic community. For some reason, those are the ones that have answered back because I've done like, I've been pitching like crazy and so I've been getting like my first answers very slowly. And here I haven't get any answers. So now that you are saying that you started with the pitch of Alusa, I was planning on doing it. So it's like, oh, I need to be there because I'm planning on like improving, like making a much better pitching system and start like going in 2026. I'm just gonna go out there and talk to everybody. And it's crazy because I'm an introverted person mostly. And this exercise of being out there and connecting with people and pitching has made me get out of that comfort zone that was just like holding me back. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not listening to any no's in this mind, in this body. I'm just going for yes. So let's see. I hope in Colorado I can get some clients in this year.
That's great.
Yeah,
Good for
but
you.
basically California and Texas has been like my number ones.
That's great. That's what I was thinking I was hearing. And I wanted to just make note of that because I think sometimes people think, well, I have to only pitch companies that are near me, or I have to pitch companies that are in the big town or the big city near me. And if I can't find anything there, then, well, this isn't working. But I love that you went further, that you said, all right, I'm not getting anything in Colorado. So let me go further and let me go. And that's where you have seen the success. I think almost with anything, you put your best foot forward, you try something, and if that isn't, you don't get quite the results you're looking for, okay, you try something else, you try something in a different way. And we are not limited by where we live. Our success is not limited by where we live.
Yeah, and absolutely. Now with internet, yeah, I'm thinking I can even get off the limits of the country and try, because the Spanish speaking is like so widely spoken that can go with the internet. Like we have no limits on pitching.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now Spanish speaking companies that are looking to break into the English market, that's also a great, eventually, when you have some time, also could be a good opportunity for you as well. Because I'm sure there are a ton of Spanish speaking companies that are trying to break into or are already in the English markets, but are not as good as they could be because they haven't had you write for them yet.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great idea. I've been thinking about like also pitching Hispanic owners, business owners.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a little bit more, sometimes more difficult to convince, in the sense that it's usually smaller companies, probably like immigrants that came and started building from scratch and now have their businesses. So that side has been a little bit trickier. But when I see the future, I think there are so many things I can go to. It's like unstoppable, just if I stop it myself. But the process is like, the scenario is for me to find the clients I need and I want to work with.
I love that. Yeah, there's so much opportunity.
I'm curious at what your day-to-day is like right now compared to, you're looking at you, for anyone watching, I feel like you're glowing with just happiness, contagious. But clearly the stress from teaching, I hope, has subsided. But what is that like now versus kind of your previous role?
Yeah, it's amazing because I think one of the things that drained me the most with teaching was the schedule. So it's a schedule you cannot miss, and you have children under your responsibility, and it's just too much, and you cannot miss a day, basically. So from 9 to 5, it's that for 5 years, that was so exhausting. I think I'm not like a person that adapts well to those type of schedules, and having this freedom in my day-to-day, waking up, having my coffee, doing some yoga, sitting on my desk, it takes a lot of discipline too. Like if I let go for a few days, okay, then I have to work on getting back into that dynamic, because if I break it, I feel like I'm on vacations, because that's the tricky part of it, that I'm always home. So I'm also working on finding some balance where I can like have more social life and like maybe work with designers in places in Colorado where they need somewhere, so I can meet more people. The challenge is being too much at home, but having the freedom to control my own schedule and to just say how I want to work or how I want to use my time, it's more than the income itself. It's so, how do I say this? Like, it made me feel so free. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're good feeling.
Yeah, and there's so few. Most jobs, you don't have much freedom at all. You don't get to decide what you do or where you go or where you do the work or who you work with. And it is so, like you said, sometimes the freedom can be too much. There are definitely days when I think, I don't want to do anything. But I agree, it's a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it is. And the training also has that. It has that part that teaches you how to also, you can organize your day and how you can build your system. So I think that's why it's so complete and why it has been so helpful, because I've been guided step by step from techniques to how make it happen. It's very complete. So it also takes a learning, that discipline of, okay, from Monday to Friday, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. And sticking to it is the part where motivation sometimes kind of like makes you want to go away. But I think the secret is just keep going regardless.
Just do it. Just do it.
Exactly.
Some days are going to be better than others, but you keep moving forward. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if someone were listening and they were thinking, oh, I'm kind of interested in getting started in copywriting, what advice would you give them?
I would say start right away. Start now. And it's hard. I know not everybody can have all possibilities, but there is always a possibility to start now something that we really want. There are many resources out there. And then if you have the resources and are interested, I 100% recommend the CCA because it's really complete. So I would just say is start. That's what I felt when I got into that free video training that day, working to my job, to my school on the time. And when I heard that, I started right away. It's like, this is what I want. Once you realize what is it that you really want to do with your life at some point, or you don't have to have everything figured out, I would say, but just having an idea that I really want to make my life something like this, like I want to wake up and write and make a living out of it, then it's a matter of starting. Yeah. The rest is like excuses we can just create for ourselves to not start ever. And the fear of making mistakes. I lost the fear of making mistakes when I started like kind of speaking in English, because now I just like, okay, if I say like my grammar is not perfect, it's okay. I'm just going to say it anyway. Yeah. So it is like a push to speak up. And the decision to start copywriting, I think, is the same. It's that first initial push to start doing it.
Well, and it's the same also in the sense that I would imagine that you were nervous because you were scared you would make a mistake and that people would judge you. But in real life, nobody cares if you can't think of a word. I speak English and I can't always think of the word in English. So nobody cares if you can't think of a word or if you misspeak. And it's the same way probably with anything, but especially with copywriting. If you make a mistake or you say something to a client or you say, then you correct the mistake and you move on.
And there aren't improving too.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to start somewhere. Your English is fabulous. So, I mean.
Yes.
Exactly. And then that's when also feedback comes like really handy. But when I was going through my spec pieces, I think I had several, like a few one-on-one with Stuart, and he was super helpful on like mostly helping me understand tones. Because my tones in Spanish are different. So basically, okay, if you say this word, it sounds more like this way. So having that person also, that expert eyes looking at what you're doing and giving you feedback, I think that's so valuable. To me, it has been like game changer, because then it helps me go through my insecurities.
Yeah, exactly. That expert eye. And it's everything that we learn needs feedback, right? I think it's all throughout school we got feedback. And I think it's only once we become adults that we think we can learn things without that coaching, without help, but we all need it.
Exactly. And no matter how experts we can be, there's always going to be room for improvement.
I literally got feedback from a client today, and guess what I've been doing it for, oh my God, I'm not at 20 years yet, am I?
Wow.
Getting close.
But still getting feedback is the point.
There's always more to learn. And to your point, that's what makes us better.
Exactly. That's what makes it fun too.
So
now, if someone is listening and they think, oh my gosh, this woman is amazing, I would love to have her write for our brands, how can people find you?
I think you can check out my portfolio, which is HispanicCopywriter.com. And I have like a Spanish version for all the Spanish speakers as well.
Smart.
And I have my LinkedIn profile as well. Maria Alvarez, it goes by my full name. So those are my contacts.
Excellent. Thank you. And we'll put those in the show notes for anybody who's listening. If we have any business owners out there who are like, I need to work with her.
So smart.
Wonderful. I'm ready.
Yeah, right? She's sitting here ready to go. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, Ceci, this
Okay.
was so much fun. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing your story.
Of course. I'm very happy that you invited me and very honored. And thank you for helping me share my story as well out there.
Absolutely.
And for
And have to
everything
keep
I've
us
learned.
posted.
Yes,
Thank you.
of course. Thank you for teaching me everything I know so far about copywriting.
Oh, you're so
It's
sweet.
been an awesome experience.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thanks for giving us a chance and then doing all the work. Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And so with that, we will catch you all in the next episode. Bye, everybody.
Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for a free video training right here.